I can't see my family. Step one.
Good evening. Would you please join me in standing for our national anthem, which will be sung by the Anacortes High School Choir.
I started trying to.
Good evening and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2018. I am John Rongren, principal of Anacortes High School and home of the mighty Seahawks. I would like to take a moment to recognize our distinguished guests who are with us this evening. And if you would please stand as I announce your names. Anacortes Mayor Lori Geer. Guest speaker, retired Major Scott Smiley and family. Superintendent of Anacortes Schools, Dr. Mark Wenzel, and his wife, Julie. School board members, Bobby Lynn Hogue, Marilyn Hainsworth, Aaron Rieger, Dr. Bill Shaw, and Carl Yost, and student school board members, Rafka Dow and Alyssa Watson. I would also like to welcome all of you in the audience, family and friends of the class of 2018. Last but not least, I would like to take a moment to recognize 3 teachers who are retiring from Anacortes High School this year. I believe a few of them are in the audience with us this evening. Jean Hollingstead, Spanish teacher, Jean Lundgren, longtime counselor, and Jennifer Immel, special education. Congratulations. It is my pleasure to introduce to you all tonight Senior Class President Thomas Dillon.
As we stand on the precipice of one of the most pivotal transitions in our lives, it is important for us to think about our futures not as predestined, but as fluid and malleable. One of the things that I believe I've most benefited from during high school is my diverse range of activities and experiences. And tonight, I want to tell you about the power of the word yes. Throughout high school, the word yes has become a defining word for me. Whenever one of my friends wants to try something, the answer is always yes. Want to try out for drama? Yes. Want to go climb a mountain? Yes. Want to go rob a bank? Yeah. Well, maybe not everything. Being up for anything has helped and shaped my life in so many ways, allowing me to make friends, learn new things, and always have something to occupy my time. I think this is what Albert Einstein was alluding to when he said, "Life is like riding a bicycle. In order to maintain balance, you must keep moving." As we leave the regular life of high school and enter the greater world, I would encourage everyone to never say no to something without having tried it. We are about to discover so much about ourselves and the world around us, and it would be a shame to limit the possibility of your experiences by not wanting to come out of your shell. Wherever you end up after high school, be open to trying new things. You may think you know what you like and what you want to do, but as you expand your horizons, you will find there are so many different opportunities available for you to try. So stay on your bicycle, keep pedaling hard, and prepare to enjoy the ride.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mackenzie Duquesne, and I would just like to say how happy, proud, and excited I am to be here today with you guys, the class of 2018. In the words of Dr. Seuss, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Today marks an important milestone for all of us. Today will be a day we will look back on in 10, 20, 50 years. Today we end our high school careers. The 4 years we have spent in this building comes to a close, but we should look back on those years and see how far we've come. When we walked in those doors as freshmen, graduation seemed like a foreign concept. We were young, not knowing what we wanted to do in this world, just trying to figure out our place. Sophomore year, we became more comfortable. As a class, we grew stronger, discovered new relationships with new friends, grew our school spirit, and realized high school wasn't all that bad. Junior year, we finally learned what it's like to be upperclassmen. We turned into role models in this school. We packed our schedules with hard classes. We embraced our bonds as a class. Finally, senior year, the school became ours. We finally won homecoming week. We survived college applications. We pushed through our final classes. We overcame senioritis. We spent our final memorable moments together as a class. And that brings us here, today, to the now. The past 4 years have been full of ups and downs for all of us. We have all shown resilient traits to push those hard times. We have all shown optimism through the good times. We have all shown friendship to one another, creating unforgettable memories. Graduation is no longer a foreign concept, but a reality we are living in this moment. The past 4 years are now only memories we can hold, but the future is waiting for us. Now, it is time to move on our separate ways. So remember, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Alex White, and this is my speech, I guess. Author Terry Pratchett wrote, "Why do you go away? So that you can come back, so that you can see the place you came from with new eyes and extra colors, and the people there see you differently too. Coming back to the place you started is not the same as never leaving. I've moved many times, and I can look back at each location and think of the memories and everything I've learned about myself and the world. In Louisiana, family, religion, and tradition were a big deal. I learned to help my family and my neighbors however I could. In California, I learned about new cultures and diversity that I never would have known about otherwise. In Anacortes, I've learned about different political perspectives, the importance of nature, and that people from Anacortes think people from Louisiana are uneducated alligator hunters. Everybody's image of the world is about to change. Even if you don't go far to further your education, your views are sure to expand. And as we go out to educate ourselves in the field that interests us the most, we're sure to learn more things about the world than we ever would have known possible. Don't be afraid to ask people questions about their culture or their views. And even if you disagree with them in the end, try to understand the way they think. These new experiences might make you love Anacortes even more, or they might challenge what you thought growing up. But don't be afraid to change your mind about certain things, and be sure to share these new opinions with your family and friends when you come home, because everybody can benefit from this new knowledge.
Hello, I'm Julia Wood. In the words of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes, we are so busy watching out for what's just ahead of us that we don't take time to enjoy where we are. You probably hear this all the time, the idea of living in the moment. But Calvin's right. Sometimes our lives seem to be just a series of pre-assigned points, high school, college, getting a job, getting married, and we can get so focused on just moving from one point to the next that we forget to come up for air. We forget to step off the highway and take the back roads for a bit, forget to step off the beaten path and make our own way. But it's important to remember that though those individual points are important, they don't define you. You're defined by the lines that connect them. Because life is truly about the journey, because everyone's journey is unique to them. Your journey is when you learn, when you grow, when you make mistakes, when you find yourself and your friends, and when you make memories. So thank you for being a part of my journey, and thank you for letting me be a part of yours. It's been pretty incredible 4 years. And as you all step into your own adventures, my best piece of advice is have some fun, be a little spontaneous, and enjoy the ride, because you're all off to great places.
Hello, my name is Thomas Dillon. I would like to start by thanking everyone involved in making the last 4 years so incredible. This includes the administrators here at Anacortes, the teachers, all other employees of the school, my family, and of course, you students. You've all taught me so many things and given me such good advice. But now it's my turn, so listen up. Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, once said, "You have to do your own growing, no matter how tall your grandfather was." With that, I would encourage you all to grow to be as tall as you possibly can. Many people who see me on the bus or in an airplane say, "I'm glad I'm not that tall. You look so uncomfortable." But you know, it's not that hard. It's not that uncomfortable. And clearly, these people haven't done their research. There are many benefits to being tall. For one thing, you can always find your way through a crowd. You also never have your face blocked in a picture. Being tall is also much safer. Imagine this. You're staring at something on the top shelf. In order to reach it, you need to stand on a chair. Now, this is a mistake, as a whopping 12,000 people visit the hospital each year because of injuries sustained from falling off a chair. However, not only am I concerned with your safety, but also your success. Studies show that for every inch taller you are, you make, on average, about $800 more annually. As we move beyond high school into whatever the future holds for us, I hope that my speech will motivate you all to be as tall as you possibly can.
Thank you, Thomas. I feel motivated. Hello, my name is Evan Rodriguez, and this is my quote from the Buddha. "Inward calm cannot be maintained unless physical strength is constantly and intelligently replenished." If you know me, you know I like my sleep. This is particularly evident when I don't get enough. A few weeks ago, I was on a trip up in Vancouver, and I was given the amazing opportunity to be in a room with Thomas. Or so I thought. I knew the next few days were going to be busy, so I tried to go to bed the first night at a reasonable hour. Well, turns out my roommates had other ideas. Thanks to Thomas and his yes mentality, when Jake asked him if he wanted to play PS2, they managed to keep me up until 3. And let me tell you, 7:30 came around pretty early. Now, I'm not going to be like Thomas and tell tall tales. I'm pretty unpleasant when I don't get my sleep. That's why it took me a few days to recover from the lack of sleep and a few more to mend my strained relationships. What I'm trying to show is that things like sleep are important. What I've discovered during high school is how to find a balance. For some of you, that's a balance between things you have to get done, like studying, homework, and jobs, and things you want to do, like having fun with friends. For me, it was learning how to juggle sports, school, and friends while still getting enough sleep. Anytime I've ever felt stressed out or found myself thinking too much, getting back on a cycle of regular exercise and consistent sleep always gives me a reset. So as you continue to your next step, I implore you, do what makes you feel best, and know that the little things like sleep and exercise can have a profound effect on your well-being. Thank you.
Yeah, for all you going to grad night, be prepared for Evan to complain about sleep once it gets past his bedtime. So. My name's Calder Wood. Nelson Mandela said education is the most powerful weapon with which he can use to change the world. A wonderful sentiment in theory, but in practice, few ultimately allocate the time or effort to really make a direct impact. It's understandable. The financial strain of supporting yourself after high school, holding down a job, or going to college, in a way, force us to be selfish out of necessity, rather than any sort of reprehensible motive. But for generations, people in our same situation have been told that we must be the solution because those before us have faltered in their duties to act as altruistic global citizens. And we can no longer afford to propagate the same pattern of idleness. The problems facing the world today, environmentally, socially, politically, are in many instances more dire than any before in human history. And that is our burden to bear, regardless of who is to blame. But for the first time, there is real potential for progress, and more than the trickle of decades past. And I do not say this simply to abide by the standard structure of an inspirational speech, first despair and then hope. It is in candor that I say I can't help but be hopeful when I see what members of our class have accomplished, and more importantly, what they seek to accomplish. If the rest of our generation is as extraordinary and as driven, we will leave those who come after with more solutions than setbacks. So whatever you do and wherever you go, strive to use your talents to aid others, to benefit society, to change the world. Remember, the people and the planet are more important than a paycheck. Kurt Vonnegut said, "True terror is to wake up one morning and discover that your high school class is running the country." If that's the case, I can't wait to wake up in a cold sweat. Thank you.
We just played Pomp and Circumstance on repeat for a while. This is one of our first times playing without all of our seniors in the band. So if you're going to come jam with us one more time on Chameleon, now is the time.
Mayor Gear, Dr. Wenzel, President Hoag, distinguished members of the school board, Principal Rongren, Vice Principal Fox, teachers, staff, family, and the class of 2018. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of our liberty, to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. What I just read to you was written over 231 years ago by those founding Americans who fought side by side against oppression and persecution, who fought for their rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Today, we are able to inherit these same promises of freedom because of their courage, their bravery, and their belief that all men are created equal. The realization of these freedoms has never been more evident or more apparent than they are today, right now, as we sit here celebrating the biggest accomplishment of our lives thus far. These freedoms have allowed us to receive an education that was free from corruption or control, something that many people in this world are not lucky enough to have. We must appreciate all that we have been given and cherish it. And now it is time for us to give back. Give back by making a positive difference in this world. From this day forth, it is not about what others can do for you, but what you can do for others and yourselves. The time has come for us to take responsibility for our own actions, decisions, and consequences that arise from them. The time has come for us to go into the world focusing on how we can make it a better place by treating everyone with kindness, respect, and understanding. As we go forth, we must remember to respect the opinions and views of others, for they are not less important than our own. Remember to listen and refrain from reacting, for when we react, we usually regret what comes afterwards. There must always be compromise. There must always be balance. The class of 2018 is a class of leaders, competitors, doers, and thinkers. I know that each and every one of you can and will be successful. If I had enough time, I would tell an amazing story about each and every one of you and about what you are going to do in this world and how you are going to make it a better place. We have learned together, we have competed together, we have laughed together, and we have even cried together. But most importantly, we have respected each other. I encourage you to embrace and remember this evening. Remember who is sitting around you. Remember how you feel, the anticipation, the joy, the excitement. Remember this night and always carry it with you. After being given the honor and the privilege of serving as your class president for 3 years, and this year as your ASB president, I want to thank you for all that you have given me. For the unwavering respect and kindness I will always remember. You will all be in my heart and in my memories for as long as I shall live. Right now, if you look under your chairs, you will find a copy of your Constitution taped to the bottom of it. This book is your inherited promises, passed down from generation to generation. Your written guarantee of life, liberty, and your pursuit of happiness. My wish for you is to live a life that is free, that is happy, and that is successful, and that no power, foreign or domestic, ever take that away from you. Congratulations, class of 2018. May God bless you, and may God bless these United States of America.
Lononofatsa is a Southern African song of blessing. Most of our choir seniors have been singing since middle school and will miss these opportunities to perform together. May this song support our celebration tonight as we transition into our next chapter. Thank you.
Tonight, we celebrate the graduation of the class of 2018 from Anacortes High School. In a few moments, our graduates will receive their diplomas, marking a major milestone in their lives and in the lives of their families. I would like to take us all back to the spring of 2014, when many of our graduates were attending their middle school moving up assembly in a hot gym. It was then when our graduates first heard the phrase, college and career ready. This evening, I would like to take the opportunity to add to this notion of being life ready. To me, life ready means that you are prepared to face the curveballs that lie ahead. To me, life ready means that you have the wherewithal to deal with disappointments that are part of our shared existence. To me, life ready means that you are equipped to deal with and overcome failures that you will undoubtedly experience in the years that follow. This past week, I had the opportunity to attend the University of Washington's Chemistry and Biochemistry Department's commencement ceremony, arguably two of the most challenging undergraduate majors at the university level. Throughout the student speeches, a common theme emerged, one of failure. One student speaker spoke of the idea of failing forward and referenced a role she had taken in a fifth grade drama production. She spoke about how she had forgotten her lines and actually fell off the stage while attempting to maneuver around the set in her Tin Man costume. This served to motivate her to work harder in preparation for her next play. Others spoke of similar experiences in which they failed at something during their high school and college years and how they used their failures as an opportunity to grow and motivation. I was impressed by their candidness and humility, given that I was listening to some of the brightest up-and-coming academics in the country today. The idea of failing forward is not new. Author John Maxwell wrote extensively about this in his book, Failing Forward, Turning Mistakes into Stepping Stones for Success. I would like to share a few thoughts from his work with you this evening. In Failing Forward, Maxwell looks to identify the root causes of achievement and successful individuals. What makes the difference? Why do some students achieve so much and others not so much? Is it family background? Having a supportive family is something to be very grateful for, but it's not a reliable indicator of achievement. High percentages of students coming from disadvantaged backgrounds achieve to great things. Is it wealth? No, some of the greatest achievers come from households of average to below average means. Wealth is not a valid predictor of achievement, and poverty is no guarantee of low achievement. Is it opportunity? Well, opportunity is a peculiar thing. Two students with similar talents and resources can look at the same situation, and one student will see tremendous opportunity while the other sees nothing. Opportunity is in the eye of the beholder. Is it high morals? I wish it was that simple, but it is not. History provides us with many examples of individuals with high integrity who have achieved very little, and unscrupulous leaders who were high producers. Maxwell posits that the only factor that separates those who constantly excel from those who don't is their perception of and response to failure. Is their perception of and response to failure. Don't think for a minute that the 235 chemistry and biochemistry graduates didn't experience failures over the course of their 4 years. They thrived on their failures and grew from these experiences. This was when true learning occurred. It is my hope that as you leave Anacortes High School and head off to pursue your passions and pathways, that you continue to cultivate within you a growth mindset which will allow you to view and experience failures as opportunities to learn and grow, for the road ahead will certainly be filled with challenges. I would be remiss this evening if I did not conclude my remarks by thanking the entire Anacortes High School community. Without their professionalism, persistence, commitment, and support, our graduates would not be here with us tonight. To our classified staff, our cooks, custodians, administrative assistants, and paraeducators, thank you for keeping the wheels on the bus. To our certificated staff, our teachers and counselors, school nurses, SLPs, and OTPs, thank you for your caring ways and unwavering belief and commitment to our students here tonight. To my administrative team, I am thankful for your ongoing support and dedication to our cause. Lastly, I would like Monique Malama to join me on stage, please. For those of you who don't know Monique, she is my administrative assistant and does everything for me and keeps me organized and keeps the day going on a daily basis. I would like to thank you for all your planning, support, and hard work that goes into graduation each spring. Without you, this night would not be possible, so thank you very much. Go Hawks!
Good evening, I'm Mark Wenzel, Superintendent of the Anacortes School District, and I'm 6'2". But because of Thomas's encouragement, I've decided that I'm shooting for 6'3" next year. I just want to start off by saying, don't we have amazing students? Let's give a round of applause for our students. It has been an inspiring evening this evening. Thank you, speakers, for your words and for your encouragement to classmates. It fills all of our hearts with a lot of pride in what you've accomplished. It is my distinct honor this evening to introduce our featured speaker, retired Major Scotty Smiley. Scotty Smiley is from Pasco, Washington. After high school, he attended the United States Military Academy in West Point, New York. In 2005, while leading his platoon in Mosul, Iraq, Scotty found himself in front of a suicide car bomb. After the man blew himself up, Scotty woke up in Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, without his sight and partially paralyzed on the right side of his body. After intense rehabilitation, Major Smiley subsequently became the first blind active duty officer in military history. The Army Times named Scotty Soldier of the Year in 2007, and in 2008, he won an ESPY as the world's best outdoor athlete. After receiving an MBA from Duke University, Scotty taught the core course in leadership at West Point, and then commanded the Warrior Transition Unit at West Point's Keller Army Medical Center. Scotty is also a recipient of the Army's prestigious MacArthur Leadership Award. After many years of service, Scotty retired from the military in 2015. Over his military career, Major Smiley received a Bronze Star and Purple Heart, among many other recognitions. He currently works with the Capital Markets Department at Drexel Hamilton out of New York as an investment banker for corporations and banks around the world. In his spare time, he does things like compete in the Coeur d'Alene Ironman and summit Mount Rainier. With a passion for using his story to build hope in this world, Scotty authored the book Hope Unseen in 2010, and now travels all over the country speaking and sharing his message of perseverance, courage, and hope. The Anacortes connection with the Smiley family happened when community member Jeff Hendricks, whose grandson Jake is graduating this evening, transported Major Smiley through his involvement in the Wounded Warriors Project. Jeff Hendricks was joined by Colonel Dick Iverson, who helped lead the school district's efforts to build the Veterans Memorial in the plaza outside this stadium. Sadly, Colonel Iverson passed away last year. So it is with great heart that we welcome Major Smiley this evening. He is married to his high school sweetheart, Tiffany, who is here with their 11-year-old son, Grady. The couple have 2 younger children, Graham and Baylor. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Major Scott Smiley.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Class of 2018, congratulations. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. As you close the door to your high school career, and your journey now begins. But you have to understand that's going to take drive, grit, motivation, and most importantly, a team that surrounds you. And when you do that, you will find out that nothing is impossible. I remember waking up at 2:45 one morning, not something I regularly do, but you see, I'm going to do an Ironman. It's 105 that day, so I had to get started early. After swimming 2.4 miles in the water, 112 miles on a bicycle, yes, I'm getting tired just talking about it, all I had was a little jog, 26.2 miles to go. As the sun at its highest point, the ambient heat off the ground, 135 degrees, I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. I couldn't see the finish line. I couldn't see my purpose on that race. I rewind several years earlier, like you all, graduating high school, I chose to join the United States military and attend West Point. Walking across the 50-yard line at Mikey Stadium, I felt it was the right decision to do. Quickly, my head was shaven. I was dressed up in a goofy outfit, constantly made fun of. I really questioned what I was doing. As stresses and things were placed upon my shoulders, again, I wanted to give up. And finally, an upperclassman looked at me and says, you have to trust the team that we've surrounded you with. Because if you don't, you're going to fail. But if you do, this will be a successful career. I chose the latter, surrounded myself with friends, teams, and loved ones, and those 52 months at the academy flew by. I now was a commissioned officer in the United States Army, leading men and women to fight and defend enemies of this country. And just as soon as I married my beautiful high school sweetheart, I was stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington, just south of here, and received orders to deploy to Mosul, Iraq, to support and defend our country. It was an amazing opportunity, but I knew it took the team, drive, and grit to get the mission complete. Every day we were attacked as we helped rebuild that country. 6 of my men in my team were seriously injured and had to redeploy. My commander, my boss, was killed when someone walked into a cafeteria and blew himself up, taking 21 other lives. Talk about tragedy. But again, it was the drive, the motivation, and the team that surrounded us, enabled us to continue our mission. And after 6 months, I found myself in front of a suspicious vehicle. I yelled at him to get out of his vehicle, and I remember the last thing seen, him raising his hands off the steering wheel as I fired 2 rounds in front of his vehicle, and then boom, my world went black. I woke up less than a week later in Walter Reed Army Medical Center, blind the rest of my life, temporarily partially paralyzed on the right side of my body. Just think about it. What did I now have to live for? I couldn't see my beautiful wife smile in the morning. I couldn't see the sunset at night. I couldn't see the beautiful raindrops on the leaves. I couldn't see anything. My eyes were taken from me. What did I have to live for? But you see, there was a team that was surrounding me. My wife by my bed every day, praying for me. Family and friends supporting me. My wife not signing paperwork to begin my retirement process. That team was around me. But it was my choice to have the grit, to have the motivation to continue on with a purpose. And I knew that was the right decision. But I first had to forgive. And once I made that decision, I began to rebuild my life and live with motivation and begin my recovery. And after recovery at Palo Alto, California, learning how to live as a blind person, I remember getting lost and just throwing my stick down in anger, asking why? Why me? Why this life? But that never should have been a question I should have asked. Instead of what? What do I do now, and how am I going to do it? How am I going to live every day with a motivation to strive? And again, it was the team that I knew I had to surround myself with. And given the choice, after my medical process went through, I was given the ability to continue on active duty, to become the Army's first active duty blind officer. And I knew I could do it, but only with the team that I surrounded myself with. But now I've really had to find my purpose in the Army. Being an infantryman, for some reason, they never gave me a rifle. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I had that grit and desire to continue to serve our country. And so I knew maybe going back to the academy to teach, just as I had amazing teachers like you all have here, would be an amazing inspiration. Unfortunately, I had to continue my education and get a master's. At Duke, I thought, what did Duke have on the military academy? Nothing. Well, when you're blind in statistics class, financial accounting, Duke had something on me. But again, it was that grit, that motivation, but again, the team that I surrounded myself, that I helped them and they helped me through every class. And those 2 years flew by, and now I found myself leading and teaching students how to be leaders in this world. It was an amazing time. As my career continued in the military, being the first blind company commander, and then finding myself at Gonzaga University, just on the eastern side of this state, teaching ROTC, it brings me to the beginning of this story. You see, I'm blind in this Ironman. I trained a year prior with my brother-in-law as I trusted him to run next to me, telling me left, right, step up, step down. Steering the tandem bicycle, braking, shifting gears, making sure we wouldn't drift. Tapping my left leg to turn left in the water, my right leg to turn right in the water. One could only imagine a little buoy out in the middle of the lake, not knowing where he's going. But it was that partnership and that teamwork that helped me every journey of that way. And now it's him and I, and me wanting to quit, only 3 miles into the marathon. But it was that team that supported me, that helped me, motivated me every step of the way. And after 13 miles, only 13.1 to go, they knew the time, the strict Ironman time, they knew I wasn't going to make it. And my wife, looking at my face, the crowd cheering me on, yelled at me and said, "Scotty, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the men and women who never made it back. But more importantly, you're doing it for the men and women who did but are still fighting, so you better hurry up." It's at times like that you don't like when your spouse is right. Somehow, some way, grit, motivation, and I definitely know teamwork, we were able to cut off over an hour time on that half of a marathon. As I finished that last quarter mile down Sherman Avenue in Coeur d'Alene, it was amazing to hear Ironman Mike say, "Congratulations, you are an Ironman, Scott Smiley." But you see, he got it wrong. It wasn't just Scott Smiley. It was Andy, my brother-in-law, Tiffany, my wife, my family, my friends, the community that motivated me, inspired to continue to drive, to fulfill that purpose in my life. So in closing, as you all begin your journeys today, whether it continue your education in college, serve our country in the military, get an occupation, and continue to move up the ladder, you will have struggles, you will have trials. But if you stay motivated, you have grit, and most importantly, you surround yourself with a team, you will realize truly nothing is impossible for you all. So continue forward, continue to inspire all those around you. You all are my heroes. Thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you.
Major Scott Smiley and his wife Tiffany. Thank you, Major Smiley, and thank you to all of our audience members who have served the country in the military. Those were inspiring words about grit and believing that anything is possible, and surrounding oneself with a team. And in many ways, right now, you're each other's team. So now, class of 2018, it's time to present your diplomas. Would you please stand as I present you to the school board? I'd like you to hold each other's hands in one last showing of unity as we capture this special moment in time. Students, thank you for being part of this community, for acting with humility, for reaching out to one another when in need, for showing the world what you're capable of. This is a very accomplished class. We want you to know how proud we are of your achievements as scholars, athletes, artists, but most importantly, as people. Go into the world, create more light and hopefulness, and remember the family, friends, and staff members who stood by you here in Anacortes as you embark on your life's journey. School directors, could you please stand? Board of Directors, in accordance with the laws of the state of Washington, on behalf of our teaching professionals and the support staff of the Anacortes School District, it is my pleasure as superintendent to declare that the students standing before you have met all state and local requirements for graduation and are hereby presented to you as the Anacortes High School graduating class of 2018. We will now present our graduates with their high school diplomas.
My name's Scott Burnett, and I'm 5 feet 8 inches. But my spirit is a lot bigger. We're very glad to invite you here on behalf of the faculty and staff of Anacortes High School. And helping us with the presentation of the diplomas will be the members of the school board. The first school board member is President Bobby Lynn Hogue. Thomas Dillon. Jacob South. Madison Barris. Caitlin O'Connor. Evan Rodriguez. Nathan Mathis. Michael Mantell. Jeremy Downs. No, you're good. Maggie Irving. Mackenzie Duquesne. Alexandria White. Michelle Maddox. Calder Wood. Colton Wearsome. Julia Wood. Adriana Garner. Gabrielle Maston. Jacob Jensen. Catherine Butler. Catherine Asp. Emily Talbot. Eden McComber. Madeline Murray. Heather Hansen. Georgia Stultz. Hallie Geist. Christopher Warmuth. Eli Gold. Jenna Stevens. Aaron Hofstadt. Julia Cabrini. Hannah Lee. Gemma Sladich. Amelia Rury. Anya Sharbach. Alexandra Rudolph. School Board Member Aaron Rieger. That's good. Kendall Beatty. Isabel Atkinson. Hannah Wiedrich. Kiana Rasal. Charity Davis. Mason Berkland. Braden Swanson. Barrett Buchstaber. Alec Martin. Brandon Broom. Julia Casado. Eduardo Boza. Hannah Millard. Lindsay Bowman. Gladys Wong. Sienna Dyer. Delaney Rowe. Emma Blanchette. Elizabeth Bratz. Morgan Billow. Pablo Overbeck Weiss. Emma Beaver. Caitlin Foy. Johanna Anstonson. Alicia Phelps. Javon Andrich. Madison Richardson. Syra Allen. Kelsey Aragon. Sana Allen. Samantha Southwick. Bailey Ipersbach. Joshua Johnson. Andrew Agergard. Sierra Ament. Miranda Ledger. School Board Member Carl Yost. Isabella Zulo. Cassandra Pierce. Lauren Rasmussen. Caitlin Jensen. Harry Lee. Aaron Jensen. Hannah Cross. Brandon Cross. Olivia Kolpa. Megan Campbell. Rebecca Van Dyke. Marin Terrio. Brandon Pratt. Naomi Nolan. Ian Nelson. Anna Hayworth. Linda Van Dyke. Lainey Hamilton. Nicholas Yaruso. Lincoln Gilden. Anthony Notaro. Caden Cornett. Kyle Kolperick. Orion Conroy. Zoe Fry. Riley Clemo. Sage Watson. Ryan Clegg. Ethan Quitno. Keegan Cantrell. Connor Smith. Ian Diebler. Mark Downey. Christopher Bergfalk. Tristan Lowry. Tyler Bluen. Ladies and gentlemen, School Board Member Marilyn Hainsworth. Dakota Rob Ryan. Jada Jameson. Nicholas Verdos. Elizabeth Jenkins. Carlos Sanchez. Jacob Johnson. Liam Patrick. Vidal Martin. Marcus Stoll. Connor Melling. Emily Milkey. Alyssa Milkey. Corin Norona. North Miller. Lane Woodward. Kenji Nystrom. Oh, sorry. Anna Morrow. Peyton Beener. Lucas Mannion. Nicholas Hubel. Joseph Zachary. Duran Iverson. Sophia Riccardi. Emma McKenna. Karma Kushner. Ryan Frost. Jacob Reich. Jared Fike. Jillian Gramfers. Elise Etlicher. Emily Fitchett. Anna Doby. Sarah Hardesty. Sierra DeCamp. Katie Ryerson. Rainy Day. School Board Member Bill Shaw. Lizette Zavala. Michaela Radsma. Jacob Hendricks. Paul Gallagher. Andrew Scruggs. Kirby Rowe. Kai Schwenk. Jake LaSalle. Nicholas Huffman. Adam Rury. Micah Mills. Christian Dean. Billy Buttram. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2018.
On behalf of the school board and everyone here, congratulations Anacortes High School, class of 2018, and thank you for allowing us to be part of this special and inspirational night. Over the past 2 weeks, we've celebrated your impressive achievements, your inspiring talents, and your remarkable stories. While we will truly miss you, you are off to bigger things. Remember to take time in the next couple of days to plan the next steps of your remarkable journey. We don't often just stumble on greatness, but we create it. Make a plan, write down your goals, and wherever your path leads, be ready to work hard and put in some serious effort. You've heard a lot about that tonight. Be relentless in the pursuit of your goals and your dreams, and don't settle for less than doing what truly inspires you. When you come to a fork in the road, as Major Smiley talked about this evening, always follow your heart and your passion, even when that might be choosing the road that looks like more work, more risk, and more uncertainties. Never settle for safe or easy, but be true to what you want most in life. Each one of you has a remarkable future ahead of you. The world is waiting for your goodness, your talents, and your inspiration. We're all incredibly proud of you tonight and all you've achieved while you've been here at Anacortes High School, and we wish you all the best as you leave to pursue your dreams and your passions. The best is yet to come. Thank you.